Hello, welcome to I don't know really what this is. Probably best described as like an over manic online hermit. Explains a very geeky passion. He seems to fascinate on. It's probably like I don't know if that's a subgenre of videos. I think it basically is. I was like, oh, that light is very bright, but basically, what I'm here to do today is you like what I just said is, and that is yes, they record. That is basically I'm just going to break down in preparation to the new series, Born Again, out March the 4th. It's not sponsored by the way. Just I'm really passionate about the show, and I love how much the Netflix show was. Hence why I'm talking about this right now. I'm talking about the Netflix series. This is basically a breakdown. You can use it as like a recap, I guess, or potentially I wouldn't say as like a it will fill you up on the series. You get to jump straight to Born Again, but like I would personally, I'd recommend you watch it yourself. I don't just mean like support the creator that it's Netflix. Okay, I mean this show, it's worth it. Of all the shows that I'm guilty of just watching like little like in-net recaps online, this is the one I would say watch very much by itself. As we'll get into it, and also spoiler alert, I will say it one more time. But spoiler alert, I am going to break down the entirety of the show from episode 1 of season 1, then season 2, then in between that, Defenders, well, specifically Matt Murdock's bit, because it's like, think of this like a retelling of Matt Murdock's story in the MCU so far. We'll get to that. And then also then season 3 of Daredevil, and then I might have time to talk about his other little cameos he's actually made in the MCU, official MCU products, like No Way Home and She-Hulk. But then yeah, so basically that's kind of it. I think without further ado, and me battling on, so probably jump into it. Also, you can see this in the background. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, basically, I feel like I'm missing something. I got timeline. I got camera. I am forgetting something. 2 seconds. I think I need. That's better. It took me so long to change. I was like, I see shit in this. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing this. This is the level I'm at. I look like a fucking pirate now. Yeah, this is an elaborate bit. Also, I was supposed to have it attached. So I got the sticks and everything. It's like a Halloween costume. I say I hate old Halloween costume. It was literally just last year's Halloween costume. When it's like, hence why I basically watched a lot of these the seasons again. How good it was. Kind of also in preparation for oh god, I'm gonna take this off though. Yeah, also he's not the gloves I use. I use combat gloves, but I used to cutting the fingertips off for my second costume, which was season 3's suit, which we'll also see later on. This is also how I looked, by the way, when this was actually complete. It's not really complete. Well, it is complete. I got the trousers still, which I swore I've shrunk, and also the top and everything. All by the way, I basically got from Vintage for like I think around 25 to 30 quid. Along with those combat boots was like really cool for like a $5. Which just going to show if you have like a costume that's basically like a costume where like it's like normal piece of clothing, and like oh it's gonna be expensive. Just look at Vintage or like Depop or whatever. Just look like around because like it's cheaper than I thought it was gonna be compared to like previous years where I've like gone like other times I would proper go out for it. But it's cheaper than Amazon per se. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah. Well, so this got off the rails so fast. Without further ado, let's get into it. Oh yeah, one more thing before I before we start. When I just want to say I'm also using because it has been a while since I watched it. So I'm using the Marvel Wikipedia or fan Wikipedia for Daredevil season 1. Like this is the plot summaries, Rose will be myself, but I've seen them enough times. Just obviously I might forget everything. And again, like I said, I'm basically just mentioning a lot of stuff that's relevant to Matt Murdock, and then also Kingpin, but like specifically those two characters. But mostly our boy Matt, so we can fill you up on the show. But I know Kingpin's also a high part, so I'll keep you updated on his part as well. But yeah, so we start off. The show starts off with young Matt Murdock, about 9 years old, as we've just seen him off the aftermaths of a car accident where he pushed an old man out of the way. We get hit by a truck. The truck crashed, spills, and the chemicals on the truck fell onto Matthew, and he became blind. The last thing he saw, basically, before he became blind forever, was his dad, who was like comforting him. That kind of leads to the whole part of the show, kind of thing. Very much that, there's this young innocent. Basically, no matter how much good you're trying to do in the world, you're always going to be kind of hurt because of it. I feel like that kind of reflects the show quite nicely, I think, because in that whole like instance, in the fact that it's nice little, because Matthew, as much as he wants to help people, the way he goes out, like by being a lawyer, the system kind of always pushes back against him. So no matter as good he can do as a lawyer, try help people, the bigger guys are going to come in and ruin it. So yeah, that's kind of the whole like point of the show, or at least very much like symbolizes a nice little I guess metaphor, or like I said, simile. God, it's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, you wouldn't think because we're a film degree. But basically that's kind of the point of the show. Okay, we're back. It's Popcorn. I don't know why. But basically, yeah, we're in up. Let's move on. So basically, Matt's blinded, and we're kind of going like, I'll go like sort of chronological here because there's no point in telling it because the show kind of slowly show you Matthew's backstory, which again, much better to experience it, but this isn't the show, so I'll basically break it down his younger years first, and what basically his origins. So after he's blinded, he was basically, his father then kind of pushed him into like learning and becoming like able and braille, but then also like becoming like want to become a lawyer because he wants better for his son. Matthew's father, Jack Murdock, is a boxer, a very low dime, very underdog boxer who never really came his own. He's good, but he's not good enough to become a pro. That's kind of his whole career. And then one day, a Irish mobster came to him and went, "Look, Jackie, you ain't that good. You ain't him. You ain't got that dog in you. But how about this? I'll throw you a bone. I'll pay you under the table to take a dive in my next fight," kind of thing. You get like the money, best you need because this blind little bastard, little blind boy there. You need it for him. Think of the kids, Matthew. Think of the kids. So that though, like Jack doesn't want to take it, but he does take it. He takes the money, like fair enough, kind of thing. But night of the fight, Matthew, like they're preparing for it. Matt specifically, is so proud of his dad. Like, oh, you're gonna kick this guy's butt, and then Jack's like, I am gonna kick this guy's butt. So he goes to a bookie, basically bets on himself, puts it under Matt's name, and then that kind of stuff. Then he calls Matthew's mother as well to be like, "Hey, I'm about to do something very stupid. It's probably gonna get me killed. You need to take care of this boy." Okay, bye now. And then wins the fight. Like he literally wins the fight, and Matthew hears it. Everyone cheers his dad's name. It's great until it's not, because like I said, the mobster paid him to take the dive. He didn't take the dive, so they powed. And I think, how did they actually shoot him when he was beaten to death? I can't remember. Either way, he's killed. Matthew then kind of like hears it because he's got great hearing. I kind of hears like his father's heartbeat like stop. So he goes to the scene about where he finds his father dead in an alley, and as most superheroes do, swear vengeance upon the, I was probably so loud, I'm sorry. Like swears vengeance upon whoever did this in the city and the blah blah blah. Superhero shite. You should know by now. But that's kind of the whole crux of his origins. At least like young for now. We'll need to know. Yeah. Also afterwards he was sent to an orphanage, which kind of comes playing like season 3 mostly. He was sent to an orphanage, which was a Catholic church, hence why he's very like Catholic-based superhero, because he was grown up to become Catholic. He's always Catholic. And there's like his father's mother said there was Matthew boys, they've got the devil in them. Not like so like got this fight in them. Basically, I say, and Matthew is a fighter. They were naturally born fighters, and as Matthew will show you as we're going on, he's got that dog in him. Woo! He's got a few good things in him. Yeah. Yeah, and I also says here, because we'll get to more of the character, but we'll clip this part into like season Defenders with season 2. But he also meets this part in his life. He also, not too long after his father's death, he meets a character called Stick. Stick has similar abilities to Matthew. But basically, Matthew, he's blind, but his other senses are heightened, like extremely. He has great hearing, taste, sense of smell. He has such good hearing that he can detect when someone's like heart rate's going too fast. So basically, they're lying, which is a really good tool to have when you're a lawyer. As well as a vigilante, beating the crap out of people. So basically, he continues to use his abilities, in his 2 senses. But he basically he has his senses, but he can't control them. That's where Stick comes in. He's a much older mentor to Matthew, and he trains him, and he actually becomes like a father figure to him. Until Stick has ulterior motives, which we'll find out later on why. But basically, Stick realizes Matthew is not the right person for his motivations or why he wants to train them for. So he kind of abandons Matthew. Basically, they're getting close, which leaves a little bit of a sting in Matthew, a bad taste. no, good boy. So basically, yeah, his father died. He then got a new father figure that abandoned him. And this is like, he's just had like 8. No, having like 10, 11. So yeah, this is just like the beginning of his hardships. Oh my, it gets much worse. Trust me. But yeah, it's kind of like earlier years. Do you know why we're talking about Matthew? By the way, I've also got them all pinned in the wall. This is Matthew. This is the good boy. This is the goodest of boys. He has done nothing wrong. I don't care what you said. He has done nothing. Look at that smile, which is really daunting because I'm not gonna lie. That was the first image that came up. I put Matthew Murdock in Google. It was him smiling. I just thought, that's not him 9% of the show. That's like 1% of the show he's smiling. He's crying basically every time. He's crying on the inside, he's crying on the outside, but he's never usually smiling. But my God, does that smile just light up a room. Anyway, so we got Matthew, but let's talk about his shadow, basically. Because it's quite funny as well, because I got like this picture. It was more brighter by printing it out. So both of these are quite dark. I think I didn't realize how dark the ink was. I was lighting it up. But I think that is quite like it symbolizes. Not symbolizes. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a great little like metaphor piece. That's not the word I'm looking for either. What's it called? It's been so long since I wrote an essay. I can't be asked for these fancy words anymore. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it's quite ironic that he's in shadow because majority of the first season he is heavily in shadow because as much he's a puppet master. He's pulling the strings behind the scenes. We'll get to his little hands and little puppets he masters. Also, one I forgot to put up there, but we'll get to that in a minute. But basically, yeah, the entirety of Wilson. Let's dive into actually who Wilson Fisk is. Wilson Fisk basically was also born in New York. So he's born to his mother, Marlene Fisk, and his father, Bill Fisk. Fisk, not Fist. his father, Bill Fisk. And basically, his father was abusive. There's no easy way to say that. His father was just abusive. He was and basically, he was very abusive to not only his wife, but also his young son. Wanted to be more like a man. Very much, bullied him into, in his way, seeing being a better a man. But in reality, he was just traumatizing a kid because that's what happens when you abuse a child. And he traumatized him so much to the point that one day Wilson, who was a very soft, sensitive boy originally, but again was molded into this rageful beast because of his father. And one day, after his father was attacking his mother, Wilson just snapped, picked up a hammer, and he nailed it. And he nailed. He hammered a nail in. That nail just happened to be his father's head. So basically, yeah, his mother then obviously saw this, but knew what he was trying to protect her, so she covered it all up. Covered it all up. But this moment haunted young William, or Wilson, And I quite on it because like a white wall. There was a big like red stain on the white wall, and then later on there's a picture that like symbolizes. Fuck, I can't say the word. That like it's a one word that's like literally crucial to the show. I can't say it. Symbolize how that like that one moment, and then also the character of Wilson, because the piece is called Bunny in a Snowstorm or something like that. Something like that. Basically, like how like it's supposed to be a white little bunny. There's a big blizzard, and that's kind of like it's all metaphor and symbolisms. Symbolisms. That's the word. I'm not about symbolism. I don't know. Yeah, but basically, yeah, that just kind of goes into that. That's Wilson. He's a sad character, but he grew up to be a bad man. Okay, so let's get into the event of like the pilot now. So after we know the backstory, let's get into the event of basically what sets a lot of this motions in. Well, here's the pilot. So we start off with the flashback we just mentioned with Matt being blinded. Then we cut to the present day. This is actually after the Battle of New York. So like timeline wise, this is after the Avengers battle. But something you want to know as well, a lot of the Marvel TV series at this time weren't connected to the MCU in the bigger sense. Like they were, but they weren't. So basically, two different people in control of it. Same company, different people in control who basically at the time hated each other. Oh my god, that's a whole different drama. But yeah, Kevin Feige, as we know, and some other guy who's an absolute hole we don't talk about. He was in college TV, Kevin Feige was in film. They hate each other. Basically, they kept like being like, yeah, we're in the same house, but I'm never going to mention you, and you're never going to mention me, kind of vice versa, right? So yeah, that kind of happened. That happened, leading to obviously got the Netflix series, which is great, but it's very like disconnected. It does sometimes mention some events, but they never like they will never be like, oh my god, it's Iron Man kind of thing. It's more like, wow, yeah, that that green guy or the God dude, or Star Spangled Kid guy. I don't know, something like that. They've actually before you mentioned it, a lot of people thought like, oh my god, Netflix are edgier, so I'm not going to mention the big movie ones. It's not. It was because they had people in charge, whatever. But yeah, so basically, this, but like timeline wise, because kind of what this point was be. This is after the events of the Battle of New York. That is mentioned quite a bit actually, and so you got that context because going into the series, New York's still in shambles. This is right after the first Avengers. The Krees come down. They've just it's not Kree. It wasn't Kree, was it? God, who was it? Scarly? Scarly? Basically, fallen is not for Loki and the little whatever they were called. As Rocket put it, the weakest battle or the weakest army in the entire universe. Had messed up New York. They come in, crushed New York, and left it in shambles. Hence why people like this clown. He's not an ass clown. That's quite cool. But this guy and his little cronies, which we'll get into, kind of comes in and scoops it up. Like, okay, this city's unprotected. The big guys are fighting aliens or whatever. We can come in and hurt the people, which we don't do that. We don't hurt the people. We protect the people. Anyway, so basically, yeah, he ends up coming in. That's kind of where the main series begins. The aftermath of that, but the pilot kind of then keeps on background. So I don't know how to do this. So jump back around a little bit. So just a recap. We have so far we have Matt Murdock, we have Wilson as our main protagonists. Let's actually cover the series now because I'm getting confused at this point, and I'm so sorry. I'll try and make this make sense in the edit. So the actual end of the series, we start off with him. He goes to confession. And he's present day, so Matt, look, it's grown up now. And we're like, hey, goes to confession to your father. And he's like, I need forgiveness, father. And he's like, oh, what do you need forgiveness for, my son? And he's like, it's not, I should only forgiveness now. I need forgiveness in the future. And he's like, what? It's like, I want to be forgiven for what I'm about to do. And I'm like, what? And then we cut to like a docks. It's like dark. And then we see, some very bad men, basically, who work for these two, the Russian mobsters. I forgot their name, These two, basically, these two are basically running the docks and stuff, and they're transporting a lot of different stuff. Okay, human trafficker. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube actually. The trans people not good. They are moving people from one place to another without their consent. God, I hate the child protection shit. But basically, yeah, they're not the good guys. They're not the good guys. So yeah, that people are doing this on the docks, kind of thing, and then they're getting forced in. When out of nowhere, the shadows, we see something move, and then take these guys down one by one with bare fists, just boosh, boosh, boosh. Someone with a very similar outfit to this, or more specifically because it's pinned on the wall. This. It's Matthew in his season 1 getup. Yeah. It's our boy. He is here, and he is at the time. Well, he's just like the masked vigilante at the time. He's not actually called Daredevil yet. That comes later on. But yeah, specifically right now, he is just a masked vigilante. But he is here to help the people of Hell's Kitchen, specifically because it's his city. He's here to help them. But that's by night. But by day, he's a lawyer. With this guy. They got their own firm. This is Foggy Nelson. Probably the best character behind Matthew. He is so good. They're both so good. They're so cute. If anything happens to him in Born Again, I am going to riot. Look at me. Look at me. You can kill this one off. I don't love it, but I wouldn't mind it. If you touch one hair, if you look at me, if you touch one fucking hair on his head, I'm coming for you, Disney. I mean, you're a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm nobody, but I'm coming for you. One hair, my boy, one hair. Anyway, so basically, he then ends up having the friends from college, the avocados at law. You wouldn't get that. Never mind. The moment, and they're both defenders. They're both defenders who have a law firm together, Nelson and Murdock firm, and they're basically the next morning after the whole vigilante thing. Oh, he doesn't know he's him. He doesn't know he's him. So that's a whole triangle. But yeah, he doesn't know that Matthew goes beating up people at night. Yet. But we then continue with their whole story. They ended up having this law firm together, and they get this little tip off because they got a friend and a cop friend who basically tips them off that there's a new case, a very weird one right up their alley, which might be good for their law firm. They go to it and they see, then go to the police station and find Karen Page. Karen Page here, she has found herself in a little bit of a pickle. Picture the scene, right? It's Friday night. You go out with a work colleague. You go and talk about secret documents that you found on your company's keeping under the radar. They swept under the rug, and you shouldn't have found. And one thing you know, you're drinking. The next thing you know, you wake up in your apartment covered in blood with a bloody knife in your hand, and the guy who you went out with is dead. We've all been there, slay sister. So basically, yeah, that happened. So of course she's been framed for murder by this guy, which we haven't talked about yet. But he's the one who's kind of put that motion in effect by Wilson. See, this guy is Wesley. Wesley is a little fucking weasel. This is why he's generally painted out. He's a very low quality. I hate him. But he's the right-hand man to our boy Wilson here. And he basically keeps everything in charge for him. Along with these guys, it's Madam Lowe, that's the Owl, I can't. He is literally out in the comics. I don't care. I was actually in this. And then the Russian brothers. I kind of forgot their name as well. It's not really relevant. It doesn't matter. Half of it will be end up dead by the end of the series. It doesn't care. Basically, we also got a red ninja, who's part of the hand. I didn't print off him, but like just picture a ninja, then red. That's him. He's there somewhere as well. Just imagine him here or something. But yeah, these boys met him, and the Arrow, who's the accountant, she runs the sugarcane factory. We'll say. There's a lot of words here I can't use on YouTube. It's realizing. And these guys, we've already established what they do. Also, fun fact: this guy is the same one who plays. I think it's Peter in. Okay, this guy plays Deucalion on Teen Wolf, and if you know that character, probably not overlap here on this, but you probably know him. But it's funny because he plays like a werewolf, the specific one, but he's blind when he's introduced to the series, and he's blind, but his werewolf has like incredible other senses. So basically, because his werewolfism, it makes him hear also really well. So he also uses really good hearing and other like senses to be really good at fighting and stuff. I just thought that was very funny, and then I knew from that, and then literally I watched Daredevil, and it was this. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh my god, he's a character who does that. Which I just thought it was quite ironic that he's in a show about a superhero that was blind but has really good hearing after playing another character, or himself playing a character who was blind but used his really good hearing in his benefit. I just thought that was really funny, a coincidence. I don't know why I'm mentioning it and dedicating any time to it in this video, but I am. And here we are. Anyway, so anyway, these boys proceed to take on Karen's case. They proceed to help her out, because Matt can tell she's not lying, and like they say, we need promotion anyway. So they try to go help her out. They go investigate when they go out. We also see, when we mentioned our boy Wesley here, he's a little snake. He tries to blackmail someone into killing her, but she escapes it, like a cop, or guard or whatever, who she's under prison. They try to kill her. They fail because my girl Karen is built differently. She does not die. She is no basic biatch. Telling you right now. Basically, because yeah, she survives the death one. They use that to basically be like, yeah, let her out. Are we telling everyone you need to let her die in custody? And of course, it works. So they're like the cops have no leg to stand on. So they just let her out. Hey ho, that's fine. Then they do more investigating, basically find out that she's hiding the document that I mentioned earlier, that they got a co-worker killed. They didn't want to tell them because they didn't want to get them killed. But then an assassin goes after her, but our boy here fights off the assassin, defeats him, gets the USB stick, and then brings it to a newspaper that this character, Ben Warwick, which he hasn't come to play yet, but specifically this newspaper, he belongs to. Basically, yeah, that's the gist of episode 1. And before that ends, she then gets the charges are dropped, and she can't really pay them back in money, but she's like, I'll be your assistant to pay you back, for like, making sure I don't go to jail for the rest of my life for murder I didn't commit. And they're like, yeah, cool. And that's basically in episode 1. Also, I forgot to mention, he's now aware of him because they got her off. And Wilson also is kind of aware, but he's like, he doesn't care because he's doing his own thing. He's too busy trying to buy patents and stuff. You don't even see him to like the last little bit, even then. But yeah, but then this is the episode. It literally ends with our boy Matt. Oh, sorry, totally forgot as well. They had a meeting in the first episode. He's mad at them because he stopped their track. Basically, those women got free on their watch, and he's mad because he didn't protect them. But they're like, no, this is on you. You should have done that. They're kind of mad because they didn't talk to him. Anyway, either way, they need to make up for it, and they need this vigilante taken care of. So they now arrange a kidnapping of a young child, to basically law out our boy here. Hence, leads us right into episode 2. In episode 2, we then meet Night Nurse. Basically, we've got our boy has got the loving kicked out of him. He is left in a dumpster. He is being thrown out like yesterday's trash. And he is not in a good shape. But luckily, he is found and brought to the Night Nurse here. Carol? I want to say her name's Carol. I could be wrong. Either way, it's it's Claire. Claire, played by, of course, Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson. Honestly, the women in this show are just fine. I don't mean that as in like, I mean as in fine. But yeah, this one stand out. Also, this character, Claire, continues to basically pick up in every other Netflix show, which I won't be talking about. I don't have time. I think I'm half an hour in already, and I've only just started talking about the second episode. But basically, yeah, she is somehow basically in every other for a reason. I think there's another character who does that as well, but mainly Claire here is in every other episode off the Netflix, or at least one episode off the Netflix like spin-offs. She's basically now like, she helps Matthew get better. He's in our consciousness. This is where he gets some more flashbacks. We've covered that already. But in between time as well, when he comes back to, there was a cop at the door. Roger's like, oh no. I was like, Claire's like, oh no, he's after you. And then Matthew's like, he's a bent cop. And they're like, how do you know that? I was like, I just know. Just ask him a question. And he basically gives himself away. But he realizes that he's in there. So Matthew has like, the cop realizes that like the is in the apartment, so he basically got called back up to get someone to basically come down and kill both of them. So Matthew gets up, limps over, picks up a fire extinguisher, and just like lines it up and just drops on this dude's head, which should completely have killed him, by the way. But no, he's fine. He's got a concussion. But then they take him to the roof, dangle him over an edge, and it's basically like, you tell me where the boy is, or I'm gonna drop you. And it's like, the guy's like, I don't care, I'm dead anyway. Like, well, you're dead, or you're gonna hurt a lot, hell more. And then basically, in the end, yeah, he gives up the location where the boy is. Matthew, who's still massively injured, and like Roger O'Donnell's character, I just call him Roger O'Donnell at this point because it's Roger O'Donnell. But yeah, basically, she's like, you're still really injured. If you go, you probably die. And you're like, yeah, but there's a child at risk, so I'm gonna go anyway. And she's like, damn, that's hot. Fuck. Oh yeah, so I should. How will I not mention this before? Matthew fucks. He fucks. He is a man whore. He is a slut, and we love it because he can't go 1 second without trying to flirt with like anything with a post. I'm not even joking. I swear, the amount of like the bunnies this man's got, and I don't mean criminals. Well, some of them are criminals, but I don't mean criminals. I mean, he's got a new one and bought again. Anyway, we need to study his riz. That's what I'm saying. But basically, yeah, he ends up almost. I have him a bit like a yes, no, like a won't they relationship with Claire. Needs for that they won't, because she ends up dating Luke Cage instead, which I don't blame her. A blind guy over Luke Cage. Yeah, I can see why. But basically at this time as well, we then also get introduced to Ben Warwick, like I mentioned before. He's a reporter. He's past his prime. Back in the day, he used to report on the news, like up-and-coming criminals, etc., like that. But basically, yeah, he's past his prime. He ain't what he used to be. Okay, the card was full. I don't know where we ended off. I'm not gonna lie, I was not paying attention. I don't know where we ended up actually. Shit, I took the card out. I didn't even check. But I think we're talking about. Do you know what? We're hitting way too long. We need to breeze through this. By this point, this is a speed around, okay? Because it's been near an hour and I've been nothing. So basically, this is what's happening. This is Ben Walk. Ben Walk, he works at a newspaper. He is past his prime. His wife is dying of dementia. That's really sad. I'm actually so sorry for that. Basically, yeah, he He's been beaten down by the system, but he's about to get some fight back in him when he basically discovers the kingpin and all this is going on. Basically, thanks to the new supply, he digs more into it, and with the help of Karen here, who throughout the episode, about the series, helps Ben Warwick. We'll get to Karen's subplot in a minute. Basically, throughout the entire series, he ends up cracking down on Wilson Fisk, and he gets closer and closer to eventually, with the help of Karen, they find Wilson's mother. They basically discover what Wilson did as a child, the dad murder we mentioned before, and then basically ends up be helping out. But unfortunately, just before the second last episode, Wilson basically just realizes he's went to see his mother, and he goes to confront them about it. Doesn't reveal that Karen was also there, but just reveals that he got to know the story, whatever. Wilson doesn't really care about that. He only cares because he actually went to see his sick mother, who's also quite sick, and basically was trying to use her, which he don't like. He a mother boy. He don't like nobody messing with his mother. So he kills Ben Warwick. So rip my boy, Ben Warwick. You will be missed. But he dead. Karen mentioned she's got a film for murder. She kind of sticks with her, the whole thing. That really with her. So she wants to dive into why she was framed for. With the help of Ben, we just mentioned there, she discovers it. She also then finds out about Wilson, rest of it. That then leads her to the crosshairs of this gentleman right here, Wesley. We previously mentioned Wesley. They have a little stalemate, and my boy Wesley, he blinked. My bitch Karen did not. When that was a bit narcissistic. My girl Karen did not. She did not blink. She shot this fool like it was nothing. This, I don't know where I can put my stick actually. I'm going to put it down. He's still here. Because this guy, he blinked. And now he fucking dead, son. Now he fucking dead. I kind of needed that to actually explain who he was. I jumped the gun a little bit. I apologize. Shit. It's gonna pick up his head. Oh, it's gonna fall. That's probably sounding terrible. I apologize. But yeah. No, if you know, he's a second-hand guy. I don't think you need to know him anymore, but actually, I explained that bit pretty well. Who cares? Fuck him. But anyway, yeah, we got him. He's taken care of. Revenge of the Red Ninjas before. We don't care about them. So I basically Karen's bit at the end, right up to before the finale, but you have to wait to where she's at. Finds out about Ben's death, and that kind of crushes her a bit, but also she's got to deal with the fact that she's murdered a man as well. We then get our way Foggy. Throughout the series, Foggy is just trying to be a good lawyer, trying to be a good friend to Matthew. That's all we ever needed. Because that's all I ever wanted was you to be my friend. Something like that, I can't remember the fucking line. But yeah, they have a real bit. Also, I'm going to mention this more in season 2, but there's like a comment of the showrunner going to Born Again was mentioned recently, and I'm really happy Born Again. I hope it is as peak as that Netflix show is. I'm telling my friends it's going to be peak, but then I heard this comment, I was a bit okay with that. But the guy who said that, I think he more meant season 2, because I'll get to that when we get to season 2. But for season 1 wise, he's like, the show is really good, but at its worst, it was just two people talking to each other. I like to believe he was referring to something in season 2, not this one. But I'm not gonna lie, too many shows have this kind of like aspect of, tell, don't show kind of thing. Very much like just like have a bunch of dialogue, a bunch of just like spew a bunch of shite, and basically just like explain the like bird feed the plot to the audience, right? This show does not do that. This show uses these characters to enhance the story. The conversation between these two individuals when he finds out about his identity is amazing. It is groundbreaking, actually. I love it because All he ever wants to do is to be this guy's friend, and however he wants to do is help him, but he wants to help the city at large. He wants to be his friend, and secretly they're lovers. And I'm not gonna lie, you can't tell me otherwise. They are secretly in love, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Okay, this is why Matthew's so that goddamn man whore, because he can never have his true love, which is Foggy Bear. And also we don't talk about there's would be a better ship than what Foggy's actually with. But basically, yeah, that's Foggy. Also, Foggy gets into a relationship with one of his old flings. That's kind of his whole stick this season. Also, he's a really good guy. He just helps a lot of people. So, like, by being a lawyer. Basically what Matthew should kind of do more often. He helps people being a lawyer as well, but he's more with the pony? But more with the horny kind of guy. Well, he's a horny guy, but I mean horny as in, you know what I mean. Basically, because he's the devil. Think of horny. We got Clara. Well, we got Rosie. I'm just going to Rosie. I don't care. Rosie here. She's this entire season. She's basically just Matt's personal little like patcher upper. Like I mentioned, she's basically his will they, won't they. They have sort of a few hot moments together, but ultimately, she can get behind dating a vigilante, which is ironic because later on she does also date a vigilante. But anyway, they can't hook up because of that. That's basically it. Basically that. This guy, his name's the Arrow. He's an accountant for the criminals. Yeah, he done up, and he didn't like my boy here, Wilson. Wilson meets his girlfriend, who then becomes his wife. Spoiler alert. Named Vanessa. No, Vanessa, as he puts it. My Vanessa. Vanessa is an art dealer. She's also really hot, as Matthew tried to hit on her. Basically in front of Wilson, which is quite funny. Yeah, that she walks in, right, because undercover, he wants to know, like, because he knows, like, Vanessa's close to Wilson. And he goes in and he's like, oh, excuse me, can you tell me about his art piece and stuff, because he's blind. And she's like, oh, what, it's like, I'm assuming what a blind man would want with it, kind of thing. And he was just like, I've told my apartment's a bit bland. I would like to lighten it up for my guests. And she's like, I'm assuming these are lady guests. And he just, without missing the beat, just flies backwards. Well, I'm not trying to impress the pizza man. Riz, study it right now. But basically, was it pizza guy or pizza man? I don't care. Either way, it's still a Riz line. But yeah, he's falls in love, and Vanessa goes back in love with each other. They fall in love. They're madly in love, but he don't like that because he thinks it's getting soft because he's in love. So he tries to. They actually then both plan to kill Vanessa, which is a no. You don't kill Vanessa. As someone else will find out later on. You'll try, shall I say? So he kills him. Also, again, na. Hey. Goodbye to the owl there. Both of them are dead by the end of the series. But yeah, basically his entire empire comes down. He gets caught. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the brothers. Yeah, these guys. So Wilson kills this brother. This is early on. So it's gonna. So this one, the one I mentioned before, who was from Teen Wolf, he dies. He gets his head in a car door. This one is left alive. He, or Wilson, Wesley, tells him that the vigilante did it. So he goes on an all-out war against the vigilante. But while he's busy trying to go for the vigilante, he betrays him and gets him killed. So he now dead. But before he dies, he tells the vigilante on like how he can get to Wilson, or who Wilson is, and his name is Wilson Fisk. Because at the time he only knows him as King thing. But then that's what kind of crumbles his whole thing. Our madam here, she's sort of like just doing her own thing. Actually, she doesn't. I don't even remember what happens with her. She's really important, but like later on, she's not even that important. She's just kind of there. She's just immortal, and she's kind of there. That's literally Madame Demaro or Demon or whatever her name is. She's just kind of there. She's vibing. She basically vibes. She's living for thousands of years. She's vibing. She's just doing her thing. But Wilson here, like I mentioned, our boy Wilson, he's been a bad boy. So he's been taken in by the custody of the FBI. But he then tries to escape. But our boy Matt is like, I ain't signing that shit. But he don't need this dumb costume no more. Because I actually printed out the red costume. I meant to print out the devil, but my printer went out with ink, so I couldn't print it out. But just imagine this is what he was wearing. He got like, the proper suit. Oh, hello? Oh, sorry. I stopped my audio previously. I apologize for that. We're back to it. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, red suit. He gets in a fight. There's a fight later on, and he's got Kevlar. So basically, if I find out there's a guy making him a custom like Kevlar like suit. That's just about to die. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, where was I? Wilson was like, "You took everything from me. I'm gonna kill you." And then earlier, like Wilson said to Daredevil, "Take your best shot." So now after right at the end, about a fight for like the final time, and now in this whole devil outfit, Matt, where Mr. Beats goes, "Take your best shot," and then there's a fight. Right, they kick each other's butts, but basically in the end, my boy Matt Murdock comes out on top, and Wilson, the Kingpin, is sent to prison, so his thing isn't destroyed. I don't know why I've kept Ben, because he is actually dead, but like I don't want to rip Ben. They were disrespectful. But yeah, that's basically where we lead into season 1. Where we left it, going into season 2. Hello. Again. Yeah, we're back now. But yeah, let's get back into season 2 of Daredevil. Season 2 starts off basically where we left off. Kingpin's in prison. Our boy Matt still being the Devil's Hell Kitchen. He's still being a vigilante. He's still kicking butt. But like in say Spider-Man PS4, after the Kingpin's taken in, it leaves a kind of a void of the criminal empire of Hell's Kitchen, and basically, he's not on the board, but like a lot of new players are coming in. The Irish Mob, for example, are coming in. Hell's Dogs, I think they're called. A gang is coming in, and they're all basically making Hell's Kitchen a playground. But there's a new character, a new player involved, which is taking these guys down one by one. A new vigilante. He's not like Matt Boy. He's not like that Reno who's just beating them up. Instead, Frank here. Oh God, my mic's done. That was a cute little gimmick, but I'm gonna have to put that down. By the way, that wasn't a walking stick. That was just generally a curtain pole. I'm not buying a stick just for a stun video. But basically, yeah. Also expensive as well. Like blind sticks are really expensive. I don't like what I call them, but they are really expensive, which is really annoying for like I guess the visually impaired. Like legit, do better healthcare. But basically, what I'm trying to say here is our boy Frank is a new player in town. He's the Punisher. He is tearing up mobs like it's left, right, center. He's killing everyone. He's on a path with a one-man army, and he's on a path of vengeance, and he's blasting everyone down. And he's, killing anyone in sight. We find out that we find out that he's going down for it, so our boy Matt's going after him. Problem is, Matthew hasn't just got one problem, he hasn't just got a Punisher, he's also got a new problem back in town, this being Elektra. She's not really a problem, well, she's a problem. She's a problem I wouldn't mind having, but she's a problem to a degree, because she's back in town to inform Matthew that his city is now also being attacked by the Hand. The Hand was mentioned last season, but was very brief. It was more like a tease to this season. And basically, in this season, they're much more of a threat. So I'll mention it now. So the Hand basically are a ninja organization who's gone back centuries. They are basically they have a goal to take over the world. I guess is the best way it sounds like. I don't know. The goal is kind of a bit complicated, but they're basically more or less they want to take over the world. Specifically, right now they want to take over Hell's Kitchen, but like behind the scenes. So they're trying to attack Hell's Kitchen. So our boy's got to deal with this lunatic going around and this lunatic also going around. So he kind of torn between two worlds. he ends up. So the first half of the series, he's basically trying to take down Punisher or Frank here. We find out a lot of Frank's history and stuff. But basically, eventually, after a very brutal showdown, he catches Frank, and Frank goes in custody. But he then basically, by this point, sympathizes with Frank and finds out why he's doing it. Basically, Frank's family was murdered by these mobsters, the ones who Frank's gone after. So also he's got like PTSD because he's also an ex-soldier. So Frank is very much a victim of like circumstance. It's not. Yes, he's kind of gone after one, but like he's, it's like everything's been put against him. The man's lost it all, so he's like they basically try to do the whole sanity and plead, like he's not in his right mind, which is a lovely idea of that. But he kind of goes on with it because he befriends Karen here, and then we get really close, not romantically, because actually in this season, Matthew, who's developed season 1, becomes a couple with Karen. Problem is, Elektra comes in the picture. Elektra is an ex of Matthew's. So there's a whole like little love triangle thing going on there. Our boy Foggy's kind of left on the outside of that, by the way. Again, he knows his secret. He doesn't like the fact that he had to keep the secret from her because he knows they're getting close, and also he kind of has clip films as well. But it's a whole thing. But basically, yeah, it's a whole ludicrous thing for season 2. Season 2 really is like out there. And I mentioned earlier with the guy saying like, "Oh, the worst the show is just two people talking." A lot of people kind of jumped on the fact and think like he's on about when these two talk, the rooftop, which by the way is one of the best scenes like ever. If you ever watch anything from this show, watch their discussion on why his form of justice is better than his form of justice, is better. Like basically why they have this like fiasco. Has a nice little discussion on the two mythologies. I can't even speak, man. But basically, yeah, they ended up. It's a great scene, but I think he means more like later on. I hope he means more like in season 2 with like more of their stuff about like they just gouginate. Is that right, Rod? They just basically spew a bunch of crap about the hand and how like they're dangerous, and it just like keeps like, and like he doesn't show this. He just show like, oh my god, the hand's really dangerous because the hand can do this and the hand does this, and they just like, it's just bleh. It's verbal garbage slash vomit. It's verbal vomit on the audience. It's expedition. No one needs it. They don't care. I hope that's what he meant. I hope he's saying content. I hope that's what he meant. If not, I am silently worried about this series. But anyway, we then get like that subplot. But basically, yeah. So these two, he gets captured. He then wants to defend him. He's like, hell no. She's like, please. So he's like, okay, but I don't want to be part of this. He then like, yeah, cool. I'm 100% in on this. Then she comes back into the picture. And he literally ditches these two, leaving them to defend this guy. This lunatic who like half the city hates, half the city likes, but half the city hates. With their whole bad career. Because the literal DA, the DA's on their ass. The DA is literally actually on their asses because she wants this guy taken. But basically find out DA is actually a bastard's butch history. That actually his family weren't killed by them. Well, they were killed by criminals, but they were killed by criminals that was based. It was a setup. It was a setup. All criminals were supposed to come together. It was a big shootout, but it went awfully wrong, and his family got killed in the crossfire because of it, and she knows this, so she thinks he's after her, but he actually doesn't know that. But anyway, Frankie boy doesn't really matter because he goes to prison. He goes to court. They try to defend his best, but then he kind of loses it. He's actually with them, and then out of nowhere, he kind of does a 180, and he decides to be like, I'm the Punisher. I'm the Punisher. I'll kill them all. I'll kill them again. I'm sorry. Blah, 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 blah. And he gets taken straight to jail, which is kind of weird. But we find out he was basically told to go to jail by No, that's Ben Warwick. I don't want to go face down. That's the wrong one. By the Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin's back briefly. So he's kind of back there. He wants to meet with Punisher. Basically found out Kingpin's behind jail, but he basically were in that jail now. He were in the jail because he can't stop. he won't stop. He has like limited funds, but he ends up basically running the jail because he's a badass, and he becomes in charge of the jail, and he gets our boy Punisher in that jail because he wants Punisher to take out his last main component, or last, because there's basically two rival factions in the jail. Kingpin's managed to take over one of them, but he couldn't take over the other one because he's in solitary confinement. He knows, boom, the Punisher here is going to be sent to solitary confinement, so basically tells him to go there, kill this guy, I'll get you out of prison. It's kind of, and you can go avenge your family. He doesn't like the Kingpin because he's criminal scum. He hates criminal scum. So he agrees, but like I said that very loosely. He goes, he has this really badass like fights. He's in prison like a one take, and he just, it's so goddamn cool. But anyway, at the end of that, he gets beaten, taken back, and then Kingpin's like, thanks for doing my bitch work, and he's like, next time we see each other, it's on sight, son. On sight, son. On sight. So Kingpin's like, cool, bet. Gets him basically into a riot. He gets smuggled out of prison, this whole riot. And now our boy Frank is back on the loose. He's a wild card and he's back on the streets. But while this has been going on, our boy Daredevil here has been getting sticked up with Elektra and Stick. This is also, I forgot to print out a picture of Stick. I just realised this when I was putting this back up. So here's a little piece of paper that says Stick. It's basically what you're imagining. It's a stick. Basically, right, we have these two. It's Stick's war, which Alexa was basically indoctrinated. I think I said that right, actually. Into from a young age, like Matt was originally gonna be, but like I said, Matt ain't got that dog in him. He doesn't kill. He ain't like Punisher or Elektra. He ain't no killer. He's a good Christian boy. Basically, but Elektra, she's a born killer. Like, she cold. It's kind of hot, actually. But basically, she ends up, the majority of it, basically just ends up going against the war on the hand. But she loves Matthew. And Matthew's like, don't be a killer. And she's like, I kind of want to be a killer. But he's like, but don't be a killer. And she's like, oh, okay. So they end up kind of getting into a thing again. But you remember, they kind of dating. So, they sort of a thing, remember? It doesn't work. Basically, she comes back to find her nearly dying on the couch. She's like, I don't know what the hell is going on with you, but I can't be asked to stick around with your shit. I'm out. Good for her. Good for her. She's gone off to basically become a reporter. She also left the company now because, well, I should have mentioned as well, after the Frank Castle case, Matthew wasn't there for it. He was supposed to come there. He didn't. Foggy ended up taking the slack of it. He actually, it won in their favour, and he got offered technically lost the case, like I mentioned. Frank did the whole thing, but his defense in the actual trial got a lot of eyes on him, and a prominent law organization basically went to him and was like, hey, we want you, you're good. You lost it, we don't care. You're good. We want you on our side. So he got hired by them. So Matthew and Nelson and Murdock is no more. So Karen basically needs a new job. But at this entire season, she's still feeling the loss of our boy Ben here. And she's like, oh, he was cool as a reporter. I really like Ben, but I wonder if I could be a reporter. So she becomes a reporter. She gets help from who actually she originally thought was the one who set up Ben Warwick, who tipped the person up, but it wasn't. Which was Ben's original boss. She becomes a reporter. She becomes a reporter for season 2, and she does a piece on Frank, and I think also Punisher, Daredevil and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, she basically becomes a journalist. She becomes a journalist, which is good for her. These two become star-crossed lovers. They're so happy together. It's so cute. It's so amazing. You know it's going to go totally wrong. It basically leads us into the finale. They go up against the hand. So it's our boy. Stick is injured, but kind of fucks off. We then got Elektra, and we got Matthew. These two, like I said, star-crossed lovers now, go up against the hand. Actually, the hand also kidnaps Karen. I think Foggy was also there. I can't remember. But so basically, Daredevil saves Karen, and then goes after the hand leader with Elektra's help. But they're outnumbered. They are pinned down. It's not good. The hand basically wants Elektra because she's the key to their whole. They think that she's like basically the dark entity that they need to summon their gods. It's just ludicrous. It's ludicrous. It's we don't talk about season 2. But basically, they're trying to get her, but they know they'll never have her if he's alive. They're trying to kill him. Obviously, she's going to kill him. And in the kerfuffle, he actually comes back to help as well. Ace for him. Also, she's also investigating because she's a journalist. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. She's investigating his whole family's death and finds out that basically his old sergeant was actually the one who sets them up. He was actually the one who was pushing the drugs to the cartel, who actually set him up to take the fall and his family's death. So he kills the sergeant. Totally forgot to mention that. He was also the sergeant who, the guy who played the sergeant is actually the same guy who voices Mr. Krabs. All I wanted to say in that front. Also, he's a really good. He also Lex Luthor and a bunch of a great voice actor. But like, I just love the fact he's Mr. Krabs. So he kills Mr. Krabs. That's basically all I want to say. Punisher kills Mr. Krabs. She witnesses it and is like, Frank, you're a dark soul. I can never hang out with you again. But I will clearly come hang out with you again in your own TV show. It happens. But yeah, so basically, by the end of the series, though, she gets kidnapped. He ends up helping kill some ninjas and just kind of F's off. Matt is then left take down the final ninja, but he's about to get stabbed by his sneaky snap. But luckily, well, not for her, Elektra gets in the way. She gets stabbed instead. She then dies in Matthew's hands, and Matthew's like, no, and he's like, oh. So basically, yeah, he gets taken out. Matthew's now grieving. He's sad. He's sad, Matthew. But yeah, he grieving over Elektra's death. She dead. She definitely dead. We then get a post scene. We're gonna get like posted like funeral stuff, and he's sad, and he basically confessions to Karen that he's Daredevil. So she now knows. And he's like, I can't take another step. And he reveals that he's Daredevil. So so these three now know he's Daredevil. She also knows he's Daredevil. I think even Frank kind of knows at this point. But like, he doesn't say it, but I think he knows. Anyway, remember Elektra's dead. We're thinking, wait, you took the board of like every player who's died. You took the card off. Why haven't you took Elektra's off? First, I just want to say thank you for paying attention so far. Hope you're enjoying it. Secondly, you're right, because she's not dead. Well, she's dead. She's dead. She's dead. But a post-credit scene shows her body being put into this like basically think like Lazarus pit from like DC Comics. I don't know what the Marvel version is. I forgot what it is, but I think Lazarus pit. And she's resurrected, which we'll see as we're about to now briefly cover Defenders. So emphasize, I'm just covering mostly Matthew's bits in this because again, this is like the Matthew Murdock show here. We don't really care about Jessica or Luke, or definitely don't care about Iron Fist. But like we do care about Jessica and we love Luke, and we're not Iron Fist. But right now it's the Matthew Murdock show. So basically, we start off with Defenders where we left off from season 2. He's a lone wolf. He is now a public defender who is out on his own, and he is kicking butt in the courtroom. Actually, probably his best scene in like is a television one. He defends this child who was crippled in a car accident that was basically the fault of the manufacturer of the cars, and it's just a better, like, you want to define aura, that is aura, right there in that scene. He has so much aura, it's ridiculous. But yeah, basically he rocks up and he's like rocks up, put the kicks down, and he's like, hey, you messed around, you fucked about, now you're about to find out. And then he walks out with like millions of dollars. Literally how it works. That's literally the scene. That's literally it, bro. And he's even telling the kid, look, you're gonna be mad for years. You're blind. I went in blind, but you're crippled. You maybe even walk again, but you're still gonna be mad. Your parents are gonna love that money because it's gonna help them massively for you. But you're still gonna be pissed off. But use that. Use that. I do the kick of the shell crime. He didn't tell him that part, but he fought it. But yeah, basically that's where Matthew at. He also like sort of like. His Elektra's death, he's sort of like, shouldn't I have been the devil? Shouldn't I have been the devil? Shouldn't I have been the devil? But by the end of like the series, he realizes, yeah, I need to be the devil. And he puts the costume on bed. Anyway, he found out Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones has kind of been arrested because like they basically think she's a terrorist. Again, I can't get into it. Basically, He helps out Jessica Jones, and in the subplot finds out that like his city's in danger again by the hand, because the stick here comes back and basically tells the whole group, there's a war going on between centuries, and you're now in the middle of it. You're going to help us out, and New York has crumbled because the hand's going to basically make an earthquake, so they're going to crumble the middle of New York to try and get to this agent tomb that they need the Iron Fist to open to get in, to get the oh god, it's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. To get an ancient dragon. It just made no sense, really. I'm not gonna lie. I'm explaining it. Basically, bad guys be bad guying. So the team goes up against them, but we find out. This is where we find out when the first like major fights. The team works together. She's alive. She's alive. Elektra's back. She has no memory of who she is because Jason Todd rules. She comes back and she can't remember who she is yet. But as the show progresses, she does kind of eventually be like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I'm Elektra." So she then kind of goes back to, well, she doesn't go back to Matthew, but she's a bit insane, I think. Again, her motivations don't really line up, I think, with any previous motivations we've had from her. It's very strange. But basically, she ends up betraying the people who brought her back, but continuing with this dumb plan. Matthew stops her. Matthew's like, "I love you." She's like, "I kind of remember loving you, I guess." And they kiss as the rest of the team escape, and they both, well, they seamlessly die because the underground part they're in just kind of crumbles, and they kind of fall into hell. I think no, remember the whole Jessica Jones area with the thing, the terrorists basically found them a bunch of bombs. They took the bombs to blow up the agent thing so no one else can access its power, etc. Some dumb shit like that. But basically, but also thing as well, he in this Defenders show, they kind of become friends again. But he specifically helps Matthew get his costume through like police and stuff, so he could go and save the city. But yeah, but directly handed him his costume. So when Matthew was assumed dead, or he's killed by this like the brother and stuff, he feels the guilt because of it, which leads right into season 3. Same with Karen. Well, this is also first base ad. So Punisher shouldn't really be here because Punisher is done from the show. He's now gone off to do his own thing. Good for him. Good on him. But Elektra is also now gone because Elektra. This is the end of Defenders. Elektra is now gone. Stick. Also, yeah, Stick died. Stick got killed by Elektra. Which right too, because he was a right asshole to Alexa. I can say Alexa. So Madam. She was one of the main villains in Defenders. I forgot. I've left her the entire time. She's also in season 3, but very briefly. She's alive. She's just kind of there though. Like I said, she's an immortal who just kind of doesn't care. But yeah, that's basically. Oh my god, yeah. I think also forgot the Night Nurse also left after season. She was. I don't think she's actually in season 3. If I remember right. I wrote her down. She's alive. It just got torn off. But yeah, that's everyone. Right now, going to season 3 for the players so far. We just have our boy Matthew. No, my boy Matthew's dead. Oops, Matthew's dead. But it's so big I don't want to take it down. It's in remembrance. We have Foggy with Karen. That's basically what we're working with right now. And we just pause and then come back for season 3. And then okay, now we're ready. Let's go. Okay, season 3, baby. Yeah, spoiler alert. He's not dead. Duh. So we start with Matthew right where we left off with Defenders. He's falling, basically like in a kind of hellscape. He's like doing the whole like cross thing. He's falling down, and then he wakes up. And no, he's not in hell. He's just in New Jersey. Yeah, he wakes up at basically sewer line, and he gets dragged off, and he's basically like unconscious. He's really weak, but he basically he wants to go back to St. Patrick, or like the Catholic church he was raised as a kid. So he gets brought back there, and sister, I forgot which sister looks after him. It doesn't really matter, because spoiler alert, but we do this right. It's his mother. It's his mother. His mother, who'd actually been a sister the entire time. She basically left him. It's basically like post. Oh, what's it called? Post product. I forgot. depression when like you have to like give him birth and stuff. She couldn't take care of Matthew, so she was taken away by like the Catholic Church because she was originally a sister, or she's going to be a sister. But then she met Jack Murdock, fell in love, had a kid, but couldn't handle the pressure of having a child, and then that's when she left again to go join the church. But the father, who's actually been really close, who actually raised Matthew as well, for not his father or his father, like literally Father McDonald, I can't remember his name. One of the preachers. Basically, he knew this the entire time, which Matthew finds out through this kind of course. But basically, you just know the fact that he just comes back. He's injured. He is fucked. He is messed up, man. He's bad. Also, costume-wise, I think this is like it's basically what he wears, right? It's a red thing. I have a mask for it. I actually literally made one with very similar fabric to that, and it looked really cool. I'll put an image up like here, but like legit, I cannot find it anywhere. I don't know where I put it after Halloween. But yeah, basically, I looked my whole room. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, before anyone just judge me on that. But yeah, he comes back. Matthew comes back. Find out his mother's alive. That messes his world up. But he also loses the ability because he was that injured. He loses like hearing and stuff, so he's bad. But here's another plot twist. Matthew, it was a revealed kind of thing for like his like own subconscious and his own Catholic guilt. He was ready to not just die; he wanted to die. Basically, he tried to unalive himself with Alexa. Oh, Alexa's gone. Sorry, but with like that's the one I did with Alexa when they both supposed to die. But basically, that wasn't God's plan, bro. God's plan was not. He brought him back. He's like, God was like, no, you let them suffer, and yeah, you son of a gun. You are going back down to that earth, and you were going to Hell's Kitchen. And basically, he was then brought back, but literally, he also tried to then come out and fight again. He's got some abilities back. He's trying to fight, but he's that rusty. He got his ass kicked completely straight away, and basically ended up nearly like dying. But he literally was ready to die. He was not fighting it. He was like arms down, like do it kind of thing. But look, the guy who about to kill him was like, the police were coming, so he had to run away. So like he's ready to die. He's ready to unalive himself. But basically, yeah. Along with a few others, but he's in a bad place right now. He also, his friends think he's dead, so these two think he's dead. Karen actually kind of thinks he's alive. So she was right on that, by the way, but she like kept paying the bills and stuff. But again, he's only a salaries, needs part of salary, so like she can't really afford that. So Foggy gives like 2 more, like a month or something extra, but he kind of like, look, Karen, I get it. I miss Matthew too. I blame myself. I was the one who gave him the costume. He's dead. I'm sorry, but he's dead. We've moved on. He's a big shot now, man. He's a big shot lawyer. Like, I'll pay for it. That's barely nothing. It's piss to me. But I'll pay for it 1 more month just to, like, satisfy you kind of thing. But Matthew isn't dead, but he's not going back to his apartment. He's gone back to the Catholic Church. He's been there for a few months. And he's building himself back up. So he's Rocky training. And he gets back and he's like, and like helping his father and stuff and kind of thing. And he's saying, why am I back here for? Why did God keep me alive? And as that happens, let's cut that away real fast. And let's meet a different character. This is called Agent Nadine. He's an FBI agent. Poor Nadine. He's an FBI agent who has a wife, a family, and he's just trying to do his best. His brother, wife got cancer, so he ended up paying a massive amount because it's America, so he had to pay for that shit, for the healthcare and stuff for that. So he's a little bit in debt. But right now, he's looking for a promotion. He wants that sweet, juicy FBI promotion. Only thing is, like, they ain't hiring right now. Or they're not promoting right now. They won't promote him. And it's kind of implied because he's, like, brown. But I don't think that's cool. Yeah, I might be misremembering that. But I think it was kind of implied, like, they wouldn't, like, bring up the tax. I think that's because he's, like, I don't know. Anyway, he's not getting the promotion. He's putting his time effort. He deserves this. But he's not. But he always goes to visit our boy Wilson Fisk, and yeah, look, our boy he got upgrade. He went from being like in the little pissy shadow thing to a full baller. But he's not like that right now. He's not really like that yet. you see, he's running out of funding and he wants to be with his Vanessa. So he's cocking up a plan because his little bald head's full of these little plans. And he knows he's in desperate need. And Wilson's one good at anything. He's good at manipulating motherfuckers in desperate need. So he always goes to see him to basically ask him, like, are you going to confess something? Are you going to tell me information? Blah, blah, blah. But they've been for this dick so long, he knows he's not doing anything. But except from this day, he sits down and goes, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know why I'm doing like a Vincent Bond. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you where one of my rivals are. And he gives him good information. And he feeds it to him. And he goes to FBI bus. And it works. Okay, we're back. Car was full. So FBI, their bus, it worked with his information. But soon after the little tip-off, my boy Wilson here, he gets attacked because he's a snitch. And snitches get stitches. So he then basically goes back to his lawyer. He survives it, but goes back to his lawyer. And his lawyer goes to the agent and he's like, hey, look, my client wants to cooperate, but like he can't do it in this jail. You can't protect him. He's going to die long before that. So he's going to start talking to you unless you get him these specific rules. And basically what the rules is that they want him to basically put in house arrest now. Not in bad jail, but house arrest. And the FBI, because he knows so much, they agree. They agree to his demands and he becomes in house arrest. And he's now officially out. Well, he's out of prison, but he's not out of everything. Because he's now in the custody of this man, Dex. Dex is a cold son of a bee. See this guy, Dex here. Dex ends up basically kind of being like the new Wesley, but like better. He wants to be the Wesley. At first he despises Wilson, but Wilson does little mind games and gets into his head and basically wants Dex to become his like number 2 kind of thing. And he does this by manipulating Dex, by using old cases. Because we'll get into like the characters. I'll break down characters in a second, the new ones. But yeah, basically, before I get to that, so at the end of like episode 1, we find out Wilson's out of prison, and this is why. And he now knows why he's been brought back on this earth. He's been brought back on this earth to kill Wilson Fisk. Yes, son, he's done messing around now. He put him in jail once. He ain't doing that again. This time, cold. He is putting him 6 foot under. Or that's what he thinks. But basically, yeah, he's much colder, much better, and he's ready to go after this guy. And he thinks this is God's plan. He thinks this is God's plan to want him to kill Wilson Fisk. So basically, let's cut for like what happens this season for each character. Callan comes up before her. She finds out at some point that Matt's alive. They all kind of find out Matt's alive. He actually comes. But yeah, Callan finds out. She then reports on trying to get Wilson taken off. At this point, Dex is basically Wilson's personal hitman, so he goes up against her by saying a minute why. It gets in where she works as a news reporter. She basically ends up an entire news team and co-workers get murdered, not because of her, but because like they go after her and they had it in the middle of that. Luckily, she gets fired because he shows up in time to stop her. But most of the colleagues are dead. His boss gets injured. His boss then basically finds out that she knows who he actually is, or who the real daredevil is. I'll get explain what that means in a minute. And then basically she gets fired because she won't tell her boss who Matt Murdock, Matt's daredevil. And she's kind of left stranded after that. It's like, and then she's also still on the hunt because she was the one trying to expose. She's constantly trying to expose him, and he knows it. So she's got a target on her back for the end of the series, and she's also he also then goes after her a second time and gets father. I think it's Father Dunn, who's actually shouting her. Father Dunn gets killed trying to save her life, and Matt couldn't save her in time. But that's one thing. Foggy again, big shot, Foggy. He then kind of runs for mayor. Because he can't technically go right into Wilson, but he thinks if he can run for mayor, he's trying to get actually the new mayor elected to go for Wilson, but he's like, no, I'm not messing with that guy. So he's like, oh, I'll do it, and he actually tries to get. So the majority of the series, he's basically trying to now get the cops, everyone's votes on him, So his main point is to put Wilson back in prison. So he will literally win the entire election to become mayor just so he could put Wilson back in. That's kind of his own stick decision. It's awesome. He's awesome, by the way. I can't remember if I under-explained that, but that was a really cool thing. He literally almost wins as well, which is how cool it is. What kind of? That's our boyfriend. There's our two regulars. Matthew, I'll get to the end. So let's get a new one. Like Dean was mentioned there, he's basically trying to his family, but he's getting swept up in Wilson's bowl so badly. He's a good guy trying to do it, but he basically, before he realizes it, the entire FBI has been breached by Wilson, and he's now working for Kingpin. But he actually tries to stop this. Matthew comes to him like, hey, one person probably can actually help us. He then agrees to help him, but unfortunately, it gets thrown out, and he gets killed by Dex before the finale. So our boy Nadine, rest in peace. He's killed. He's dead, but he's not gone. Well, he's gone, but he's not out without account totally, because he recorded his confession of what he did and what he did, what his illegal, like his colleagues and stuff did, and specifically what he did for Wilson Fisk before his death. And now because he's dead, it's a dying man's last plea. They can't overrule that shit. So some legal loophole like that. Let's talk about Dex. Dex is the most complicated out of this season behind these two. Dex basically this entire season, Dex is bullseye. It's really clever that. But Dex basically this entire season, he ends up how can I put this? He ends up wanting to like be really part of like Wilson's life, because at first he's a very troubled man. He's very obsessive, and he from a young age he's very violent as well. He has the ability to basically like be really accurate with stuff, so he could throw something like a little pin and it could hit a time market. He ended up getting really attached to other people, and the second they kind of like try to abandon him, or he thinks they abandon him, he gets really aggressive towards them. So, for example, like his like softball coach benched him once because he was like really good, but he wanted the other kids to basically play. So he fought out of betrayal, and he basically threw the softball right in this dude's head and killed him, right in the right spot to kill him. So that kind of thing. But for that, and his therapist, she saw that in him, but she tried to cope him. So I think like Dexter wise with like the code, so she kind of given him a code to follow by. But unfortunately, she eventually died because of illness. So he left abandoned her. He was alone again, and he went to a call center for suicidal people, unalive people, and basically he met I think her name was Julie. Yeah, her name was Julie. He fell in love with Julie, basically from a stalker to Julie. Wilson then knows this, gets Julie hired at the hotel that he's staying at, like the one thing is, so he can basically get closer to her. He ends up being a white creep around her, ruining it, but then he basically then confesses to properly, like, I'm sorry I did this, but like I actually like you, and she give him a shot. Problem is, Wilson knew he was going to creep her out, push her away, and he was going to swoop in and be like, hey, yeah, like I'm going to be here for you. But because now he backed that up, he then gets Julie killed. He doesn't know that. He thinks Julie just creeped out by him and abandoned her, and he swoops in to be like, oh, you're my like, be my man, be my best like man, whatever, be my new like Wilson. It kind of works. Vanessa gets back. Everything's going well. Vanessa does not like him at all. Not at all. And Wilson's like, I think I'm abusing them. And she's like, that's good backfire. But it doesn't matter. But then basically, yeah, he finds out. Daredevil actually literally tells him to get into where Wilson is. That Wilson killed Julie. Tells him where the body's even been hidden. He gets there. Finds the body. Also, I've got to mention Daredevil. Wilson found out the guy who made Daredevil's costume, because he was the guy he used beforehand. He must have really kind of realized. Got the costume of that guy, or spare costume of that guy, and put Dex in it. And for this entire season, Dex has basically been running around pretending to be like the redhead, like Daredevil, in Daredevil's costume, and killing a bunch of people. Like I mentioned before, he killed Karen's co-workers, father, the father, I think Dudley, I can't remember his name, killed him. He also killed a bunch of other people. So at the end, he basically crashes, at the season finale, he crashes Wilson's wedding in the dead. Right, I'm about to go press. That's basically means the finale. So stop for him there a second, and that's for all the main two boys. These two are like the devil and like the angel. Like literally, like the entire series, he's really trying hard to be a good guy, trying not to be like Wilson, but he's getting pushed so closer to becoming him, and he gets darker and darker in this like costume and stuff, and he keeps pushing close to the line, and he knows the only way to actually stop him right now, like protect everyone he cares about, is by killing Wilson. And I can't lie, I would. But he's getting pushed. So his entire season is basically his mole. I mentioned before, he finds out his mother. He finds out like all that kind of secrets. I mentioned that before. But basically that's his main thing this season. This our boy Wilson here. This entire season, he's basically trying out of jail. He's been manipulating everyone. He's got his Vanessa back, and he's so happy. He's gassed. He's like, "Oh yeah," but he's realized the hell is about to come down on them because he took over the entire FBI. He took over like all those people I just mentioned before, manipulated everyone, and he's got what he wanted. He's actually kind of winning right now. He's been pulling the strings again from behind the scenes in his little like house and stuff under house arrest, and right now he thinks he's in the clear. But he not. No. Because this guy is coming forward, and this is on a Wednesday. So they have a wedding. He gets married to Vanessa. Everything's good, and then like Dex breaks in, and he rocks up. And you gotta remember as well, this is like the hotel that I was under house arrest, was guarded by the actual FBI. That's why Daredevil couldn't get into it. That's why he needed Dex to get into it, and basically Dex went on a rampage, killed a bunch of like his. He said to most of them, "Leave or you're gonna die," and most of them did like leave. Most of them did like nah. But yeah, he's getting like mics and shit. He's throwing it at people, and he's like killing them. And he's trying to get Vanessa. He's like, he gets to the mic. He's like, "Me and Julie just wants to say congratulations." That's why he throws the mic, and he tries like, but then Daredevil dodges it and stuff. Because he's not gonna let Vanessa die. Because almost like he knows Vanessa's not the most innocent. She's not the main problem here. The Daredevil. So it ends in like a three-way fight between these two characters. Him in the Daredevil suit, him in his suit. No! My other camera just died, and this is the one I've got left. I don't know how this looks, but yeah, okay, we've got to go. I knew it was Dad. I was going to go really fast for. Where were we? Oh yeah, the best part. So this dude, and this dude is in a three-way fight. I don't know how this looks as well. Just in the camera, but it's fine. So we roll with it. So basically, these mofos are fighting him, and him. And a three-way fight. He with the imposter suit, him in his cool red, black suit, and Wilson here in his wedding suit, in a white, like very comic accurate looking wedding suit. So they're fighting. He's trying to kill Vanessa. He's stopping him from killing Vanessa, and he's just trying to basically take both of them out at once. This ends with Wilson basically baning this mofo and snapping this dude's back, or like proper, and then slamming him back down and breaking this dude's back. But he is not dead. His back's just broken, but he is not dead. And then it ends with this man and this man fully going at it like animals, primal, bro. They are bush. And it ends with like Wilson on his knees. He's vulnerable. He's done, and he's telling Daredevil to do it, kill him. And he's got like head. He's about to snap his neck, and Vanessa's then horror, and then he does it. And one of the best monologues. Oh my God, best monologues. And and then it's how good Charlie Cox is because he's seen so amazing. But with Vince as well. But both of them are so good. These characters, because literally, he's got him there. He wants to. He knows he wants to, but he can't. And he goes back. And he creates primal screams like ah, and he goes. He goes. God knows I want to, but you don't get to define who I am. You will go back to prison, and you will spend the rest of your life in a miserable hole, knowing that you never have Vanessa, that this city rejected you. It beat you. I beat you. And he's like, and you will keep my secret. And you will not go after Karen Page or Foggy Nelson, or I will make sure Vanessa goes to jail for the murder of Nadine, or Agent Nadine, along with you. And then Wilson, who, by the way, does despise at this point I think, but this is probably the moment where. Sorry, I'm calling off the camera because I just remembered something. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm hyper and I'm a bit all over the place. But yeah, there's a moment when so like he knows he's beat, and he's like, oh fuck, you got me. And he looks at Vanessa and he's like, I can't put that beauty in jail. It's a deal. So they make a deal, and Wilson basically promises to keep his secret and not go after these two in exchange that nothing ever happens to Vanessa. So as long as Vanessa's alright, everything's alright. And that's it. Yeah, like I said, Dexter's gonna bring it back. Our boy wins, he's smiling again. He gets the smile again. But yeah, it's a really fucking awesome scene. I don't know how bad, it's probably gonna spike so bad on the mic. I don't know how, I might have to mute that. But yeah, I got into that a little bit there. But yeah, that's basically and we've officially end with these three back at it. Now basically all gonna be part. I think they do a napkin, and the napkin says Nelson, Murdock, and Paige, and they're gonna open their own law firm. I remember she got fired because I mentioned that. Yeah, she got fired. I mentioned that. But yeah, that's basically where Daredevil season 3 ends. Peak. Him back in jail. Vanessa's ran on the run again, and our boy smiling. That's basically it. I'll just briefly cover No Way Home and that's some cameos. Basically, No Way Home. He's a lawyer. Sorry, he's a lawyer. He basically, obviously, if you've seen that movie, you know Spider-Man needs some legal aid. He, our good lawyer here, comes up and is like, "Hey, I've got your charges off. It's fine. I'm a really good lawyer." But yeah, by the way, when that happened in the cinema, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was freaking out. No one else around me was freaking out. Full cinema, no one else around me was freaking out. My friend turned to me and was like, "Who's that again?" I was like, "It's Matt Murdock." And he's like, "Who?" Daredevil. Oh, you never seen that show? Well, you clearly need to get some fucking class, bro. Watch the show. I was watching my videos, but yeah, literally that. Well, I remember, and then like half an hour later, Andrew Garfield came on the screen. We were all fucking cheering for that. So yeah, that was also cool. But I just remember being a bit like disappointed that no one was cheering for my boy Matt here. Represent my boy Matt. And then of course in She-Hulk, he was in She-Hulk. Again, more lawyer stuff. I don't love She-Hulk. I think she was a bit shit. It was I don't think it's bad when it says it was. I think it got better as it got on. I like the episode where it was like the rehab of the villains were cool. I like as an interesting concept, and I like how the next episode, literally the Daredevil episode, the Daredevil episode worked because Matt Murdock did it. Because the chemistry is working, it's a perfect balance of the law side, but also superhero side. I think if you're going to watch any episode of She-Hulk, just watch that episode. It's probably the best one. Anyway, something's just fallen, and then basically. That's it. Oh, wait, he's also in Echo. It's basically like a fight scene. You see him beating Daredevil in Echo. It's a cool fight scene. But you're not missing anything. So, yes, basically caught up. He's also in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but that's not MCU. That's like MCU abridged. So, it's not canon. It's so it's also just a cool cameo as well of Daredevil being Daredevil. But yeah, that's basically it. Actually, that's everything. That's all of them. Was this worth it? Oh, but yeah, 2 hours. It'll probably be like an hour and a bit. But yeah, if you're at the end of this, I want to say thank you for watching. Suggest anything else you want me to break down? I mentioned Teen Wolf at one point in this movie. Do you want me? I should bring me on that season. Oh my god, that was like so many seasons actually. If this gets like actual views and stuff, and like literally likes or comments and stuff, I'll break down. Do you not break down anything? I'm a massive fan of most fandoms. I'll break anything down I love. I'm not gonna let anything down though, because like I don't like it. I'm not gonna break it down. I love Daredevil. I will show you my Matthew Murdock there. But it says £24, right? I ended up getting it for £6. Also, so yeah, any like DC stuff as well, Marvel stuff. If it's geeky, I'm basically into it. But so yeah, literally. If you got any comments on what to like review or like break down next, let me know, and I'll definitely suggest it. Or I've definitely taken into account. But yeah, other than that, also thank you for watching. Hope you subscribe, check out my other videos. I make videos. I try to make videos at least once a month. It's kind of like my New Year's resolution to do that. But yeah, without further ado, Thank you and bye.